Here we are at for the purpose of the demo, we're using the Zoom app. And for Zoom, a customer first has to go to the admin console and in Zoom and create a server-to-server OAuth app. That's the way that Zoom creates an integration between their audit log APIs and a service like Fabric. In the admin console, a customer will need to take these credentials and use them as inputs in the AWS Fabric console. So we are now going through setting up of that OAuth server-to-server OAuth application in Zoom. It's just a few easy steps where after we copy those credentials from that first step, we complete providing the contact information, which is a required field, proceed through additional steps like defining scopes. Scopes are kind of the scopes that AppFabric will be authorized on a company's behalf to pull audit logs for them. So things like the different user activities that are occurring on the Zoom app, the admin activities that are occurring there, all of these things are the scope we are adding here to be able to provide customers with full visibility on the events that are happening in Zoom. All of this is, by the way, documented in our documentation on the AppFabric homepage. And so we've created this app, and note that it's not public or published anywhere. It's just for your internal purposes for authorizing AppFabric. Here we are on the AppFabric console, and there are just 3 steps that you need to take here. It's very simple. The first step is to create an app bundle. An app bundle is a concept of like a container that stores all of the information related to your AppFabric resources. And that is where you will also provide your preferred encryption method. So this is how we will encrypt the SaaS app data that we will be ingesting on your behalf at rest and in transit. And so that is the first step. You have 2 methods you can choose here. The first is to have an AWS-owned key or a custom key, a customer-managed key. Both are the same, meet the same high security bar that AWS is known for. The second step is here to create an app authorization. And as you saw in that drop-down, we have 12 apps supported right now. So we're proceeding to provide the app authorization credentials that we just saw at the beginning here in this page. They were all available in that first step of the Zoom OAuth app setup. And so we're providing a tenant ID. A tenant is the app workspace or an app instance. And so it's for that app instance or workspace that we're providing credentials in order to let AppFabric start pulling audit logs on our behalf. And the last thing we're doing, the last simple step, is to provide some configurations around the destination for the data and the format. As you can see, you have a few choices to make here, so it gives you a lot of flexibility. The first is the destination as an Amazon S3 bucket, either an existing one or creating a new one, or an Amazon Kinesis Firehose. You also have a choice, if you saw that earlier, where you can select the format for those audit logs. Those can be normalized into OCSF or RAW. They could be in JSON or Parquet, and Parquet is especially helpful if you want to use this data in Amazon Security Lake for kind of more in-depth analytics use cases. And that essentially was it. It was 3 easy steps. No developer effort needed, no integration work that you need to do, very simple UI to work through to set up an ingestion. And you're already having the ingestion set up. As you can see here, it's connected to Zoom. Audit logs are being ingested in the configurations that you've selected. We're just showing you here now what it would look like after you've gone through this setup and you wanted to kind of look and check how that ingestion was set up. So here are all the settings that you provided, including the app authorization credentials. That's what it would look like once set up. And it's active, which is exactly what we like to see. The destination is Amazon S3. It's normalized into OCSF, and it's in JSON format. All the choices that in this demo we made. And by clicking on that link, you will land on the destination that you chose, which was the Amazon S3 bucket, where we already have audit logs being delivered. So this is how simple it is. As I said, a few simple steps. You are guided through all of it. There's documentation and guides to help you navigate for each application. Where do you pull the inputs required to set this up? And that is it.